And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
I can't catch a break, guys.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys.
People think, oh, well, cleaning your room, that's just a cliche. It's like, yeah, really, eh? Just go ahead and try it.
If people had any idea how powerful sleep is for healing from anything, and the fact that it's free.
My mind is absolutely bulletproof, solid as a rock.
Podcast. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of the Fighting Fit podcast or the Fighting Fit show. Today it's myself, Steve Mulligan, Chris O'Mulligan and Niall Valentine. The topic of today's podcast is going to be how to live a healthy lifestyle. So we're going to try and keep this one as broad as possible and really focus on some of the key habits that we need to adopt into our daily routine that is going to help us live a genuine healthy lifestyle over the long term. Everybody kind of can do things maybe over a short period of time. It's really about what we do every day that's going to make the big difference. It's alright maybe doing it for a week or two or these kind of mini short bursts, but the things that you do daily will or what's really going to affect kind of the outcome of your life. So what I kind of want to start with is a quote. The quote is, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine." That's kind of the core. So what are the things that we need to be doing daily that are going to help us live a genuine, healthy lifestyle? One of the biggest frustrations I have is as a trainer, I get asked a lot, is this healthy? Okay, and what people really mean when they're asking the question, is this healthy? They're really asking me, is this going to help me lose weight? So what we really need to do is we need to really kind of separate these two arguments. Kind of what's necessarily the best thing for weight loss isn't necessarily the best thing for living a healthy lifestyle. They don't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive, but they don't necessarily always go together. Okay, so just because again, people say like I've had a bad week because their weight didn't move on the scales. And it's really important that we kind of get out of that mindset, whereas healthy doesn't necessarily equal weight loss, or vice versa. You get what I'm coming from that? So kind of just come back to that quote, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine." Do you have any input on that quote? How important and how kind of core is that for people who are really interested in genuine change?
You are what you do every day. Do you know, if you sleep in every day, you're someone who sleeps in every day. If you eat healthy every day, you're someone who eats healthy every day. And then if you don't eat healthy, it's like a thing that deviates from that. But the core thing is like, what is your habit? And if you are lazy every day, it's like you're a lazy person.
Yeah. That's good, and that's one of the beauty about the Find Fit program. What I really like is because we've essentially built it around kind of these kind of core habits and building these kind of routines into your life. But what the Find Fit program does beautifully, in my opinion, is it holds up a mirror to yourself. Weight loss, or even like health and fitness, all this stuff can be quite a confusing journey, or it's quite an emotional journey. So what I like to do is I like to try and eliminate, because I know it's for me as well, for everybody, it's emotional journey. You know, when you go up and your results on what you think they're going to be in the scales or whatever, we're all dealing with so many things in our own mind. It's really important that we can remove that emotional aspect from the journey and just think about the journey rationally and logically. So what can we do with that? That's why we do things like, it's a beautiful time for health and fitness, I believe, because of technology. It's like, people will tell you all the time, it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm on my feet all day, I'm flat out. And it's like, all right, how many steps did you get? You can put a number on it. You can say, right, boom, how many? It's like, did you get 10,000 steps today? Oh, I only get 8,000. It's like, well, then realistically, you weren't on your feet all day. If you only get 8,000 steps in, say, a 16-hour period, taking into consideration and maybe sleeping for 8 hours or whatever, you actually have it. So it's like, boom, we can hold hold the mirror up. Are you living an active lifestyle? Well, then show me your steps. How many steps did you get? Same with the kind of the energy balance. If weight loss is a target, it's like you can use an app called MyFitnessPal. We'll know with modest accuracy, kind of how many calories you're eating every day. If you're taking the time, effort, and energy to be strict with your portion controls, maybe measuring the food, that kind of stuff. It's like, all right, how many? Oh, I ate healthy. Another one. I ate healthy all week. I'm not losing weight. It's like, remember, eating healthy and weight loss, it's not the same thing. Eating healthy does not guarantee you weight loss, okay? Or just because you eat healthy, because again, even everybody has a different definitions of what healthy is.
Actually, I think it should be important that it might be difficult to do right now, even though we work in the health and fitness industry, to define the word healthy. What does healthy mean?
What is the definition of healthy? What is the definition of healthy according to the World Health Organization? I wonder. My definition of healthy would be looking the way you want to look and feeling the way you want to feel.
Yeah, I will. If my sort of definition is like if it brings you closer to your goals, without making like drastic negative effects on your normal life. So it's like that's healthy. You know, if it promotes longevity.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually just look up the official definition. Niall, any opinions on that?
My definition of healthy would just be the scientific definition. If you're if you're in the clear for being at risk of disease, then you're healthy, really.
So healthy, according to Google, is in a good physical or mental condition, in good health.
Yeah, it's very broad.
The
only reason I was asking is because the definitions are always really vague.
Here we go. I found the one from the World Health Organization. So what does being healthy mean to you? The World Health Organization defines health as complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. But research suggests that despite this, Americans may still define health in a much narrower way. And that's what I was just kind of touched on. It is a frustration of mine that people do associate health with weight loss. It's like they feel like they're being healthy when they're losing weight, and it's like that's not necessarily the case.
Because some people can lose weight in a really bad way and send themselves down a very negative mental sort of side of things.
But what I really like about this definition is the fact that it says complete physical, mental, and social well-being. It's much more holistic.
I think health starts with your mind before anything. Yeah, if your mind's not healthy, you're not giving the correct state to get your body healthy.
But then what's a healthy mind?
It's happy. If you are genuinely happy, then your mind is healthy.
We can go down a whole other debate.
Yeah, because
happiness isn't a health. Like if something really tragic happens in your life and you're happy about it, I wouldn't consider that healthy.
Well, then you're a sort of psychopath.
Yeah, exactly. But stuff like that is important. But I think healthy should be synonymous with vitality, something to do with that, like being strong, being athletic. Like I think that's actually part of being healthy, as well as like eating good foods. Make sure you feel like well-being is an important sort of phrase in that there. And if you feel like you're healthy, that is an important thing. Now, again, you can have good days and bad days and all that sort of crack, but I think it is important to understand that the definition of healthy can be up in the air for a lot of people, and just because it's green or all natural, again, it's like marketing does tend to have a big role in claiming what healthy actually means. It's
very similar with the same thing. Everybody has their own version of or definition of success.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's the same with healthy. And just as you touched on that word vitality, and that's really kind of what fighting fit is in my mind supposed to be all about. It's like this thing is like, oh, you're fighting fit. Like, what does that mean? It means like you
fit to fight.
But that's what I'm saying. You're fit to tackle the challenges that life throws at you. You know, you're fit mentally, physically, socially, everything. You're ready to rock and roll and deal with the things that life will throw at you, because there's always going to be challenges. I think that's important. That's what fighting fit. I always kind of picture, can you see an old person say, oh, he's fighting fit? You know what I mean? There's like, oh, just capable and able of overcoming the challenges and obstacles that may be put in his path.
I love seeing an old man go into the shop, just having crack at everybody, get the paper.
Yeah.
Not letting life get him down. But I think a broad way of health is if you look in the mirror and when you look into the mirror, you not only see your own body, but I think if you look into your own eyes, you can see into your mind. And if you look in the mirror and be like, yeah, that's good, then you're healthy. Yeah. I think. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, we can debate about it again. Like I have so many arguments coming up like against that. There's loads for it, but like Joe, you could have low standards for that. There are loads of people who do look in the mirror who are incredibly overweight, who are incredibly unhealthy, but they look at themselves like, oh, I love myself.
Yeah, but that's fake. I feel like that's fake. That's again, true, not true.
Some people are delusional, and that's not healthy as well. Like,
I know when I've been overweight or underweight in the past, I look in the mirror and I say I'm happy, but I know deep down I'm not happy.
Yeah, and that may be true, but there's also really people will fight you tooth and nail for it. Maybe they get so aggressive because they know themselves.
Defensive.
A lot of times it's because they're just.
Usually someone gets defensive when they know they.
But the key is that you set the standard for yourself. Though I think at the end of the day, it's like you need to. If you can look in the mirror and you listen, you can't fool yourself. You know when you look in the mirror if you're genuinely happy with what you see. If you're the kind of person that wants to be put on a front and kind of fake smile about it, it's like fair enough. But some people might.
That's one of the sad things though about society is that if you're not happy and you're not cool all the time, well then it's like there's something wrong with you.
Everybody's got a front.
Yeah, everyone has a front, and that's part of the reason I think it's like, oh no, if you are overweight, God, like, you can't admit that to someone. You could admit, it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm overweight and I'm actually not happy with my body. It's like, you can't say, like, outside of our consultation room, have you ever heard anyone say that? Do you get me?
Really?
Yeah, it's a very, very rare thing.
If I have,
say.
it's been in a joking kind of sense, like I'm
Like almost in a self-deprecating kind of way.
yeah, because it's
To
not.
deflect
If you
from
make
the
fun of
issue.
yourself first, nobody else will.
Yeah, but so again, so if you do want to live a healthy lifestyle, just to get back on track, what are the things that we need to be looking at doing daily? Okay, so kind of again, hold yourself up to the fire, stand in front of the mirror and really ask yourself, am I doing the things? Actions drive results. Actions drive results, actions and behaviours. That's literally all that drives results. Thinking about it, fantasizing about it, planning, none of this stuff is going to get you where you want to go. It can be useful, but it's not what actually drives results. What drives results is the actions and behaviours. So what are the actions and behaviours, the things that we need to put into our daily routine, because the things that we do daily are really going to dictate our long-term success. It's alright doing it for a week or a month. It's what are you doing day in, day out every year. Okay?
Yeah, be proactive.
Being proactive, exactly. So one of the first ones, again in no particular order, the first one I'm just going to discuss is this concept of living an active lifestyle. So now using technology, we can now put a number on it, and to say 10,000 steps a day is kind of where your average human being should be in and around every single day. As a minimum, yeah. The biggest confusion people have is that 10,000 steps is the goal. 10,000 steps is not the goal. 10,000 steps is the minimum target, and below 10,000 steps you're running into trouble. Again, some sort of studies have said, again, not sure kind of how scientifically valid they are, but 10,000 hitting less than 10,000 steps every day consistently is as bad for your health as smoking, because you're just not exercising your cardiovascular system, and your body really does work off principle of use it or lose it.
I can't emphasize with people that do have office jobs, like, because it is like
if
you're sitting for 7 hours, even if you go for a walk in your lunch, you're still sitting for 7 hours a day.
No, what's worse is an office job. Let's say we live in Dundalk, but an office job in Dublin where you have to get a bus, commute to Dublin, then go do your work, sit and work for 8 hours, wherever it is, and then go, maybe you walk to the bus and you get the bus from there back, but you're spent all day and then you're sitting there bloody wrecked at the end.
I can't empathise with it, but that's another situation where you need to be proactive about it.
Yeah, but I think again I just done the mathematics on it there on my calculator, and so if for example, if we're taking into consideration that people are going to be in bed for say 8 hours every day and there's 16 hours left, 10,000 steps a day is how many now? Did you see it? How many steps per hour?
Oh, I saw it, sorry.
You seen it?
Oh, is it 620 something?
625. So again, even though we were sitting in an office all day, even though it's like 625 steps.
Well, is that in your waking hours as well?
That's in your wake, so that's in the 16 hours. 16
Yeah.
hours of waking hour. That's considering 8 hours. So it's like 600. It's like it's not that hot. But if you leave it all till after work, you get what I'm saying?
There's something to be said. I think we tested this before about how many steps you can get in 15 minutes. I think it's somewhere around 2,000. I think it's somewhere around, you can get around 2,000 steps in about 15 minutes if you're not trying.
I feel like I don't currently wear a tracker, but I'd say when I come in here to work and when I leave, before I've done any exercising, I've hit 10,000 steps.
Yes, you guys are lucky enough because
we have an active job, like we're standing
on your
exactly.
feet all day, work in the room when you're in sessions.
We're in the office.
Yeah, but it's just like, don't let it overwhelm you. Again, 625 steps an hour is not a huge amount, and again, but I think most Fitbits have like a 250 steps an hour kind of built in that we kind of remind you can get. Try and hit that and then get your walk in. What I would say to people is don't curse the gods. It's like this is on some level, this is the path you chose. So it's like you can either carry your cross and deal with it, or you can just say, throw your hands to it, oh, my metabolism, oh, my job, oh, you don't have kids, you blah blah. It's like, again, it's your life, your decisions. You got to make it work. To live an active lifestyle, you got to 10,000 steps a day. You got to make it happen. It's completely possible. So many people that are much more busier than you can do it and do it consistently. So it is possible. Look for inspiration and reasons that make it possible, rather than kind of looking at for all the reasons that it won't work. You know what I mean?
But on top of that as well, I think the frame around it is like the people have the wrong sort of frame around it. It's like, oh, I have to get 10,000 steps. It's like going for a walk is not unpleasant thing to do. It's actually like really
extremely
nice.
peaceful.
Like whenever you go for a walk, it's like a breath of fresh air. Even if it's freezing cold, you put your headphones on, you put a jacket up, you just go for a walk and clear your head.
Yeah,
it's like,
I love it.
It's one of the nice things.
If it's freezing cold and you're proper wrapped up and you're just out there, it's great.
It's something I'm trying to get into more and more, especially with hiking and stuff like that. But even just more, just practicing like solitude, like trying to be more comfortable on my own. You know, and I think walking is great for that. And again, ideally walking in nature, but if it's not possible, just come for a wee walk then I have a bank whenever I was getting into a good habit of it.
There is some studies that say nature is supposed to be really good for mental health and like for for a sense of well-being, like being surrounded by nature. So if you have a park or something near you, go for a walk in it and like just look. Well, one of the things for being mindful and all that, again, we won't go into it too much, but it's like just start noticing different things. Notice stuff at different resolutions. Like don't just look straight ahead. You know, like look around at the trees, see what you can notice. See if you can see any birds. See if you can see any different like kinds of trees.
The trees.
My scooter's broken at the moment, so I'm walking to work every single morning. And like when I first I was like, oh, for God's sake, I have to put my scooter's broken, all that jazz. Now since I'm I actually like enjoy the walk. I got a switch as well, and when I first started walking, I was like, using the switch. Yeah, and then eventually I found myself being like, I don't even use it. But I just walk and just like enjoy the walk. And there's something really, really calming about it.
In one of my YouTube videos before this, there's a study that if you spend at least 30 minutes. Sorry, doing on Valentine. If you spend 30 minutes a day outside with nature, it increases your energy levels by up to 90%.
Wow, that's a big difference. And I can only say anecdotally that I agree. Like, you know, spending time in nature, I find is really, really powerful for your mental health. That's why periodically throughout the year, might kind of take the guys on a couple of hikes.
Get out and smell the roses. Isn't a famous saying.
And not only that, but there's something beautiful about it, especially about hiking as well. Like, I think there's something about conquering the mountain, getting to the top. You know what I mean, and then just taking in the views, and it's just really, really nice.
Taking the views.
If you want to go, we won't go into it too much, but there's like a whole thing about the archetypal story and all that jazz. Like people live these archetypal stories. One of them is climb the mountain. Yeah, it's like if you literally do that, like you get a sense of achievement. Do you know what I mean? Like any sort of struggle that you do, it's like analogous to climbing a mountain.
And that kind of ties back into kind of what Niall was saying about kind of happiness and kind of we're not supposed to be happy all the time. It's like what is it to live a life that is meaningful, not choose meaningfulness over happiness is kind of what, because again, you're not always going to be happy, but do something that's meaningful, because then it makes the sacrifice or the toil and the trouble, it makes it worthwhile if something meaningful then comes out of it. Something that could say, like for example, giving birth, you know, a really kind of tough, hard experience. Maybe not always. I'm not too educated on childbirth, but
the reason I said that, Brandon and his girlfriend just had a baby, and the words that when he was talking to me privately, which I probably shouldn't say, but the word that I heard multiple times was traumatic.
Yeah,
maybe not for Chloe, but for him, like he again like Brandon loves Chloe to bits, and and she's like a little princess to him, and if he sees her suffering, like he's like has like a meltdown. Yeah, so this was like so difficult for him to do, and but little Mason coming out of it, he's like, I don't know if I'd encourage her to do it again, but like Chloe's like, oh, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's meaningful, not just the entire experience wasn't just full of happiness and bliss, but it was meaningful when you overcome the obstacles and the
like he said it was traumatic, but then after it was done, he said he's never loved her more. So it's like something.
He was just so proud of her, so impressed with like how tough she was. He was like, Chris, you've no idea. Like,
we will have never have any idea.
I know. Thank God.
I don't want that meaningful experience.
So first habit that we again really want to get people focused on. Again, these aren't really in any particular order, but 10,000 steps a day. Beautiful. Use technology. Utilize technology. Let technology be your friend, not your enemy. Hold that mirror up against yourself. Are you genuinely on your feet all day? Are you genuinely living an active lifestyle? You can put a number on it. You can track it. Get a Fitbit, some sort of activity tracker, 10,000 steps a day, the minimum, not the target. Try and get more than that. Be as active as you can every single day. And again, walking is low, and just movement in general, it's not going to stress the body out. It's really, really useful. We've had a kind of a conversation at the gym, kind of people wanting to do maybe double sessions, and it really is this concept of the law of diminishing returns. And it's like, it's only really effective if you give your body enough time to recover. Doing more is not always better. You know, it's about what is effective, what is efficient, what is productive, versus just doing it for the sake of doing it, just doing it for the sake of feeling like you're doing something.
Can we address something actually with the double session? A lot of people, okay, again, it's a tough thing to do, you know, sit through the double session, all that crack. But
this isn't a one for all.
But alright, like, see, not me bragging around like that there, but like I like to train with intensity, and we all like to train with intensity. The whole point of high intensity interval training is the intensity. Joe, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm not feeling up to it. Like genuinely, sometimes I'm like, no, I just don't want to bring it. Sometimes I'm like, let's do this. Cursing? Sorry, I curse sometimes, guys. I'm not perfect. But see if you like after I do the sessions down here, okay? It's like I'm done. I'm done.
I'm
It's like you couldn't pay me to do another class. You really couldn't. I'm done. And it's like the way people I see them and I know they don't have the same intensity through it. And I'm like, because I'm leading the class, and then they're like, oh, I'm doing another one. I'm like, oh, so you're pacing yourself the whole way. So you're doing moderate intensity training for an hour instead of high intensity interval training for 30 minutes.
Either consciously or unconsciously, you're sleeving something in the tank for that next session. Either in your choice of weights, your choice to do that extra rep or not.
Not to name any names, but literally just there before, a lady in the class was telling me like, oh, I don't want to spend it all in bags because then I'll be wrecked for the rest of the session. And I was like, oh, thank you for telling me that. I actually had a different session today, but
I completely agree though. Like again, intensity level, there is classes when you're only at 80% or whatever, and you know that, you consciously know that, and you just didn't have it in you today. But like a session where you average the yellow and then finish, like you're in the red for time. I literally sitting upstairs like fucking
in shock.
Shit, my arms are shaking for half an hour. I'm done. Oh god! And even if I said I was gonna do 2 sessions that day, well, after that 1 session, I'm like, no.
Yeah, but that's how you should feel after. I mean, it's the shock, the body to be like, oh, you're training like an animal. Do you mean that vitality? I think it comes down to the mindset to some sort of degree. It's like you're surviving the workout and you're not performing or thriving. Do you get me? Like there's a whole thing. Oh, I just want to get I just want to get through it. And again, it's like, fair enough if you didn't sleep well and all that sort of crack, and you're not feeling, because some days you're not feeling up to it. Fair enough. But if that's the standard you set all the time, it's like we need to change your bloody standards. If you're doing high intensity interval training, there's nothing wrong with moderate intensity for an hour and a half. Nothing wrong with that, or even an hour.
Just don't lie about what you're doing.
Yeah, don't lie to yourself, because again, if you're telling people, oh, I did a hit session, all that jazz, blah, 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 oh, I did a double today. It's like, to anyone who knows anything about high intensity interval training, it's like you do a double session, it's like you're bluffing yourself. Like you're bluffing because it's moderate intensity, because you can't do high intensity.
I was very, very conscious of when I kind of started doing this and designed the program, like, going through the research, and it really is like, you cannot do high intensity training for more than 20 minutes or so, because it just stresses the body out too much. And if you combine that with lack of sleep, poor nutrition, stressful work, stressful relationships, all this kind of, you're just compounding stress on top of stress, and it's just not productive. But people feel like they're doing something which is good, but it's like, genuinely you're better off going for a walk, listening to your favorite music, listening to an audiobook, this whole concept of working in, not working, and maybe doing a bit of yoga, stretching. It's like doing the things that's going to actually help you get the results you want, versus just doing something just to feel like you're doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just on another YouTube video, just to bring it up again, I did a calculation. Your steps, the calories you burn getting your 10,000 steps versus the calories you burn doing your workout, the steps is like 3 or 4 times more. Yeah. Just get the walk in. Even 2 workouts is still half as much calories as your steps.
Your steps should equate to 70 to 80% of your overall calorie burn for the day. Well, apart from BMR.
I think it was like, basically, let's say you burn 2,700 calories a day. Your workout's 400. Your BMR is 1,700. Your calories are your steps are nearly double your workout.
Yeah. So it really is about just prioritizing your time,
and it's also the easiest. Let's get that. Like, steps is if you want the easiest way to lose weight, it's like start walking. I remember I used to turn my nose when before we got into this, and I was doctor recommended I should start walking, and like then we used to box, and I was sort of like, what's that going to do for you? Yeah. But like the research is in,
walking
it's like,
for old people.
Yeah.
But it's what it does for your mind. I think is the most overlooked thing.
And realistically, if you have time to drive here, do the session, drive home, have a shower, that's an hour that you could have spent going for a fucking 8k walk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your 10,000 steps.
And it's like, from my genuine professional opinion, you will genuinely be better off going for a 30-minute walk rather than doing another hit session.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that's first point. All right. So first one is just being active again. Use the Fitbit. Get the 10,000 steps to this. Second one,
knee up. More stuff as well. There's more than one way to get your knee up as well. So
it doesn't have to be a walk.
It doesn't have to be a walk. Our society is not plagued, but we're fortunate enough to have loads of energy saving or effort saving devices, like dishwashing and all that sort of crack. Like we used to have to wash clothes by hand and like go out to the outhouse and then back and all that sort of crack. our energy expenditure throughout the day has dropped dramatically because it's effort, and like we're in a society of convenience.
We want efficiency.
Yeah, easy.
The easy way. Yeah.
And if you cleaning the house is a good way to spend it. Playing with the kids is not like for mums. Playing with the kids, like it's like sometimes if you see that, you're like, maybe some aren't, but some are like, can't bloody, I'm tired. I went to work and all that. Playing with the kids is like, it's actually fun for both of you if you do it right, and you can bond with your kids.
Exactly, you're building relationships. You're being more active.
Exactly, and you're teaching the kids to be more active as well, which is like.
I find
that's why I'm so kind of passionate, or I don't know. And that it's because you can really just spend your very limited time so much better than just spending an extra hour in the gym. It's really not useful. It's like you could go home and have dinner with the family. You meal prep. You know what I mean? Play with the kids. You know, spend time with your partner. There's so many more things you could be doing that will much better serve you in the long term than just working out for the sake of working out because it makes you feel productive.
And also playing with the kids. You should be fucking wrecked after that. Kids are full of energy. You need.
They almost have infinite energy.
Even when you're done, they're still bouncing.
I know.
Yeah.
Pick me up again. It's like,
I've had enough.
You pick me up again.
How do you like it? I'll dance on your feet.
Breaking their toes.
But that should actually, I think that should be a YouTube challenge. Try and wreck your kids. Just try and wreck them. Just
see
play.
what it takes. Yeah.
It would take hours, I'd say.
I don't know. I feel like
it depends on the kid. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I suppose.
Alright, so next one, guys. So first up is the be active, need up 24/7, them 10,000 steps. Alright. Second one we're going to talk about is eating a balanced, portion controlled diet. Alright, so now we kind of really just got to touch on what does balanced mean. So balance for me means just making sure you're getting the appropriate kind of split of macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats, as well as that kind of getting all the vitamins and minerals that your body needs. Because again, eating for health and eating for weight loss aren't necessarily the same thing. What do you think about that?
Alright, so there's a few things that are up in the air for some people that I want to address as well. Macros, what's the right split? So a lot of people are like, make it even, 35%, 30%, or they'll go like low, moderate protein, super low carb, super high fat, or they'll go, usually this thing that's across the board is moderate protein, and then they adjust the fat carbs, but sometimes people, vegans and vegetarians, have low protein, high carbs, and moderate fat. The main thing overall, if fat loss is the goal, it should be calorie deficit. But if we're looking for like a balanced sort of diet, it's like from doing the nutrition course and all that jazz, and from living in the industry and all that sort of crack, there is no perfect diet. There is no sort of balanced diet. The main thing is that you eat a wide variety of whole foods with lots of colours. So micronutrients are the different things that colour the foods, like your oranges, your red strawberries, your white stuff, your green stuff, and all those different colours are all different micronutrients. And if you want to eat like balance your macros, eat loads of different colours. But then the macros, again, it doesn't matter too much. It depends on preference. It depends on performance, and then basically like what you like. So
what you like, or what is the word? Preference. Trumps everything. Consistency is king. So it's easy, like I said, this whole point of this kind of focus of this part, living a healthy lifestyle, it's like just because you can do a vegan diet for a week doesn't necessarily mean it's healthier. It's like what is going to be healthy is if you can only manage 3 portions of vegetables a day, but you can do it every day forever, and you've got three that you like and they're balanced, whatever. That's much better than eating 10 veggies every day for a week and then sticking yourself off veggies and not having them for a month. Really, consistency is going to be king when it comes to a balanced diet.
So again, because we work in the fitness industry and all that jazz, all the stuff we look up and all that jazz. So my ads on like let's say Instagram and Facebook and all that jazz is all to do all that sort of crack. And one of the things that you see all the time is basically like I'm so much happier with a client who loses 1 pound a week for 20 weeks than for someone who loses 10 kilos in 6 weeks and then puts it all back on. It's like if you lose it consistently, it's way better. Consistency is king, but also you have to understand that, like you have to do, if you want to stick to a diet, it's like you have to enjoy it. If you are not enjoying it, it's like you will not stay unless like you can. It's a rare individual that can do something they don't like for a long time, over and over and over again, and still be enthused about it. Very, very, but there is people like that, absolutely. But they're a rare individual. if you want to, let's say, make a change, it's like one of the biggest pieces of advice we give for children in conversation with their food intake and all that jazz is like pick stuff that you like. So here's the thing. Here's all the stuff here. Don't bother picking anything that you think is too complicated for you to cook.
What's that?
No idea. Go again.
iPhone storage fault.
All right. We've had a bit of an issue with the video. We'll keep relating.
Audio still
going, so we'll keep relating, and we might just put up a blank screen or something on the YouTube rather than kind of have them to do it all again.
Well, anyway, what I was saying was basically you have to pick new foods that you like. So, let's say if you were to rate things on a scale of 1 to 10 on health, and you were to eat something that was, let's say, a 7 out of 10. Normally you'd be eating a 4 out of 10, and let's say you switch to a 7 out of 10, and you're like pretty happy with it. You're like, oh, this isn't too bad at all. I can do this for months, no problem. And it's like that's way better than the healthiest thing that you despise, that you hate, that you'll do for a week until something stressful happens, and then you snap again, and you go into that sort of like stress response sort of thing where you rely on all your instincts and all that sort of crap. You will snap off the diet. Do you get me? And go back to eating the comfort foods that you normally like. But if the new diet is foods that you like and you look for, you're like, oh, I actually like this better than the other thing, and it's good for me. You're like,
I think I really do feel like the underlying issue is people's skill level in the kitchen has been on sharp decline over the last couple of decades.
Takeaways.
People are like, if you look at literally the amount of restaurants and takeaways and food, it's like literally all these businesses could not survive locally unless people were eating out way more than they should. Again, I know I can be guilty of it as well. Eating out is it can be a kind of nice social thing for a lot of people, but it's like you really need to be able to cook healthy food in a nice way. You know, you need to upgrade your skill in the kitchen. It's like there's nothing wrong with broccoli, chicken, and rice. You know, but plain broccoli, chicken, and rice gets boring very quickly. Chicken with a bit of bloody Cajun on it. Broccoli, you know, with some garlic and roasted in the oven. Rice with some, you know, chop up some onions and veggies and peppers and kind of mix it through. Make like
stir fry it.
You know, it's like it's so much different than just having boiled rice. Boil the broccoli, boil the fucking...
Actually, I think it's important that we make a case for that, because there is a case to be made for the boiled chicken, the boiled rice, and the steamed vegetables.
But it's about negotiating with yourself and asking yourself, can I stick to this? Are you one of them people that can just suck it up and just eat it? Like, sometimes when I get in the certain mindset, I'm like, I literally couldn't care about flavour. I'm like, I'll just eat it. I feel satisfied, I feel full, know that it's going to help me hit my goals, know that I'm fueling myself to work, and I'm happy enough with that. Sometimes. Other times, I want something with a little bit of flavour. You know what I mean?
The key is sometimes you can't do that forever.
Remember, I think the bodybuilder diet that was on the internet, or whatever, is like, oh, for lunch I'll have...
No, you man.
Have me fish and your rice cake.
Fish and a rice cake.
And then for dinner I'll have...
Yeah, it works for him, but
again,
we're talking about general population.
Number one, he didn't seem excited about it, but I'm sure he probably hit his goals if he stuck to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the main thing is that it's quite... like, the way he even said it, he sounded like he was bored with it, which is like, fair enough. But I had a consultation today. I'm not going to name any names or anything like that there, but one of the problems is she was like, I'm just sick of chicken.
Don't eat it then.
I'm just sick of chicken. And I was like, hey, how are you cooking it? She's like, on a George Foreman. And I was like, if you want the worst way to cook chicken, like as a whole chicken breast, cook on a George Foreman.
No.
Actually, to be fair, I love a George Foreman. Just season it.
I love a George Foreman as well. But the problem that arises, she attested to this, when you cook it, it overcooks, you know, the outsides before the inside is cooked. Do you get me? I like it.
It makes me feel like me and a chicken burger.
But again, if you overcook it, that is basically the main issue. Do you get me? You have to get it right. And this lady is conscious of it being raw in the middle as well. Again, and she's getting it, and it's chewy and all this sort of crap. You know, like, so they're eating around bits of it.
Yeah, I cut it in half first.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's number one. You want it to...
I like to roll. You can roll it out either.
Exactly. Again, perfect. Absolutely perfect. With me, whole chicken breast. So you put it on a thing. If both of you want to try it today, again, it won't be the most appetizing chicken breast you've ever had. And if you're having that every single day, again, it's
I have like 5 or 6 spices that I put on chicken whenever I make it. Just literally anything in the kitchen, just throw it on the chicken.
Here is the.
Sorry, the reason I didn't directly, I was just saying, like, no, boiled chicken is way worse than George Foreman chicken, in my opinion.
Yeah, which is
definitely
fair.
boiled chicken. Like, I generally think, even just looking, not naming names again, obviously, looking in our Kickstarter group, which is our kind of group where everybody posts their meals. I think there's definitely direct correlation between the nice, tasty looking meals and the not tasty looking meals and results.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And people don't know about people's attitude towards the diet plan. It's like it can be. It's a whole thing. It's like I said, just take the chicken, the broccoli, and the rice. It can be. You can make that 100 different ways. If you choose to make boiled broccoli, chicken, and rice, that's one experience. But if you choose to put in a little bit of effort, it's a completely different experience. But it's the exact same foods.
It amazes me how well some people can make, how good some people can make healthy dishes look.
Oh man!
But that's the feel like that's my point. The underlying issue is your skill level in the kitchen.
Oh yeah,
understanding of spices and how to can you bake food, can you stir fry, can you grill, can you utilize the different pieces of equipment that you have in your kitchen.
It equally amazes me how bad people can make food look.
Rate my plate.
Yeah, that's actually an extremely popular Facebook page.
I feel like
or when they send them to
members group, just like rate my plate and just pull out all the old things.
Or when they send them into, do you ever see them like send them into like tweet them to Gordon Ramsay or something, and he says something.
He comments on it. Oh man,
it's fucking raw.
But one of the cool ways to make chicken to make it really, really nice is, and one of the best investments you can do for meal prep.
Slow cook
yes.
chicken.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I know you're gonna say it.
Slow cooker, man. It's one of the best things ever. You just literally throw everything in and then come back when you're done work and it's done. And you're like, and it's not always done, but it's cooked like unbelievably.
Yeah,
it's
so
really
soft.
Nice.
You can rip it.
Well, the suggestion I made was that like instead of cooking it on the George Foreman, the big thick thing, I did say cut it in half as well. But it was like cooking it in a slow cooker. She said she had a slow cooker and just tear it apart with some forks and then you shred the chicken. And then put your spices on or do it during it or whatever it is, and you have like lovely chicken.
Some hot sauce.
But hot sauce,
Frank's hot sauce.
Yeah, no, really good. So my kind of key advice for the kitchen is like master each individual what utensil? Not a utensil. What's it like? Piece of equipment. Yeah. So it's like, but like using one I find is the easiest for me. So it's like if I'm doing like say I'll just pick the George Foreman. I'll cook my entire meal just using the George Foreman. I'll use like say a pan or a wok. And I'll cook the entire meal using that one piece of equipment. I feel like it gets very complicated very quickly. People when they have to grill this and bake that and fry this. And I always try and use the slow cooker. Put everything in the slow cooker. One meal, one piece of equipment. One tray bake, put your veggies, put your meat, put it all on the tray, put it in the oven, one tray bake, one piece of equipment, easy. Same with a stir fry, put it all in the pan. Same with the George Foreman. Grill, have the chicken and grill your asparagus and your tomatoes or your mushrooms all in the same. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, but not boring.
The next piece of advice there with let's say meal prep and stuff like that I would recommend is that just buy containers and make more than one dinner. Like when you're doing it, it's make it the exact same way, but just make 3 times as much, and then portion it out, and then it's like your dinner's done for 3 days.
Because that's one of the comments on that is portion control. Because when you portion control, you also calorie control, and that is obviously different to every individual, depending on your age, your sex, your height, your goals, your activity level, day to day. Yeah, so there's so many different factors, but for you, and that's kind of why it can be useful to work with a coach, so it can give you appropriate targets. The next one, guys, is hydration. Obviously, pretty obvious one, but something that a lot of people struggle with, not getting enough water. 2 to 3 litres of water per day. There is a recommendation per kilo body weight. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. In that range of 2 to 3 litres of water per day should keep you golden. Speaking of golden, the old pee rule it can be useful if your pee looks kind of very very orange or yellow and it kind of has a strong smell.
Dark.
If it's dark, you're dehydrated. Your pee should be relatively clear
and light.
Like exactly.
It should be like it shouldn't be clear. It should be like a very light yellow.
Yeah, light and dark is probably the best way to describe it. So that's kind of just something to kind of adjust it to yourself.
Consult your doctor.
Yeah.
If it's red and burns,
you're in trouble.
You've done something wrong.
So no need to, but again, just to emphasize, like water. There's so many things that can. A lot of the time when you think you're hungry, you're only thirsty. That is something
it helps appetite. Absolutely.
Drinking, having a glass of water every meal is very important. It helps the tummy works off stretch receptors, so just kind of filling your tummy with liquids, or liquids in combination with food. Food works well. A hydrated body does everything better. It's going to burn fat better. It's going to perform better, especially in terms of performance. Even if you're very slightly dehydrated, it can affect it performs up to 10-15%. I think for less than 5%.
I remember looking at it being like that can't be right, but it probably is. In the precision nutrition course, it was like it dropped in like 2%. You lose 2% hydration, it's like 10% drop in performance.
So it's big.
And it's like, but it's like you lose like 10%, and it's like you're risking like I don't know what the actual numbers are off the top of my head, but they were really small. Like I told him like 50% or 40% or something like that. But it's like the drop in hydration was really small, and the effects were really bad.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people don't know how this concept of like people don't know how good they're supposed to feel. You know, so people are going around kind of with brain fog or headaches and all headaches as well, strongly linked with hydration. You know, so it's just so important that we kind of get ourselves up to this baseline so we can see how we're supposed to feel, and then we'll start to notice. The problem is people are just going around at 70%, and they've always been 70%, so they don't know how good they could feel if they just got their diet right, if they got their sleep right, if they got their hydration right, if they exercise for 30 minutes a day. These simple things that, like, even like talking to Jonathan this morning, like, Jace, you really miss it when you don't get your workout in. You're like, your mental state, everything's off, everything's different. So it's like really giving yourself the opportunity to live your best life and to be the best version of yourself by incorporating these simple habits into your day-to-day life.
So hydration solves the problem. I don't drink 2 liters of water a day, Stephen. What do I do? How can I improve that?
Well, you first thing to look at, so first off, look at it. It's like it doesn't necessarily have to be water. If you're just one of these people that's just not going to drink water, again, I don't mind it. It's a bit boring. Yeah, so I would go for a bit of cordial, you know, sugar-free cordial, you know, bit of orange, bit of raspberry, bit of whatever flavour you like is going to be go-to. And then just strategically utilize, maybe using one of these bottles, having a little reminder. You know, one of these bottles you have to have a certain amount drank by a certain time of the day.
That's what I was trying to set you up for straight away. Like having a bottle with you handy, and it's like because people have the default habit, if your phone's there, it's like they'll pick it up.
I definitely found if I've had like a big bottle of water, I'm just tipping away at it for the sake of it
all the time, just for like. People are really fidgety.
You're looking for something to do. Your hands are always moving, so your water's just there. You're gonna just constantly go for it.
For next rest of the podcast, just place your hands in there.
I can't. I'll be able to do it for about
a minute.
How much do
you want to not do that?
If you ever watch the podcast and the video, if you ever watch my YouTube videos, I'm hands everywhere.
But I think the easiest way to solve that is to go into Home Store, go online, go wherever you want, buy a 2 litre or 2.2 litre bottle of water. Carry it with you, loads of them have little clips and all that, as you can clip it to your bag. But the main thing is like literally, if you struggle with it, it's like decide for the rest of the day that you're going to carry this bottle of water.
And but at the same time, I feel like it's another one of these habits that is so overlooked. It's like, that's not going to change anything. It's like, but that could be one of them habits.
So your body's 80% water. Well, if you think it's not going to change anything, you're crazy.
Anyone notice how crap you feel when you're dehydrated?
Yes.
So you wake up in the morning, or you
already have a headache.
You didn't drink anything. You didn't have anything the night before. Your mouth was all like, you're like, you have no energy. You have nothing. Then all of a sudden it's like, go down, grab a glass of water. Okay, wait like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and be like. You'll feel like you're awake again.
And the problem is people don't equate them issues or them feelings with dehydration. They equate them with other things. It's like,
well, focus, clarity. Like there's so many different things that hydration helps. That it would like
especially brain function. Brain function, and then every chemical reaction in your body takes place in water. Water is the medium for all metabolic reactions in your body. So it's just very important that we.
Did you ever wake up in the morning and have like a pint glass of water, and you literally, when you down it, you literally almost feel your whole body go, we're awake.
That's what I do. That's one of my new habits in my daily routine. And kind of my perfect day is starting my day with water or hydrating myself before I go to something like coffee. Or
I feel like it almost hurts your stomach because it turns your stomach on. Because you get on your stomach, so all of a sudden it's like, oh god, I was groggy there when I'm awake.
Yeah, well, I like first thing in the morning. What I do is I start off the sun salutations, and I start off just with. Remember, Dad used to just and he just starts moving. Is this the best like low barrier entry to it? Like, because you're like, why not?
Yeah, just really do. Yeah, really just do a little bit of movement, and then
all of a sudden you're doing it.
Yeah.
I do an unhealthy thing. I wake up, pull my arms back, and crack my sternum. That's probably the worst thing you could do.
Oh man, we'll go into chiropractic.
Haven't said that just on the water again. I saw a fella on Instagram. I saw him say this, like, at some point you just have to grow up and drink your water and eat your vegetables.
That's so true, honestly. I'd be so frustrated that I don't like vegetables.
Oh man,
it's like, come on.
It's like at some point it's like, you're not a kid anymore. This is going to keep you alive. Just fucking do it.
But you have to start where people are at as well.
Yeah,
I know. It's
such a broad statement. I don't like vegetables. It's like, all right. So
how many have you had?
So you don't like potatoes? Oh, you don't like potatoes. Okay. It's like, oh, you don't like lettuce? Oh, I like that's a fucking vegetable. It's like there's literally hundreds of vegetables. It's like you can't just broadly state I don't like vegetables. You know what I mean? It's like, and then it's like, all right, I don't like broccoli, but it's like, all right, do you like oven roasted broccoli? Do you like stir fried broccoli? Do you like broccoli with a bit of chili and garlic? Do you like
broccoli rice?
And then on top of that, it's like, do you like one of the things?
The problem was your mom was a bad cook. There, I said it. Your mom was a bad cook, and she gave you shitty broccoli boiled in the pot.
Triggered.
And that's why you don't fucking like but like vegetables.
To be fair, broccoli.
Wait, no. I tell you what, I agree with you, but I'm gonna make a strong case for them. Okay, so if you are used to sugary, snacky foods and all that jazz, and you're used to that spike in insulin and all that jazz, and the crunch and all that crap, then you go to regular vegetables. It's like that aren't engineered to be as palatable as possible. It's like you're going to feel a little bit meh, and I think that's the thing that people don't like. I don't think it's that they don't actually like them.
People are trying to derive too much pleasure from their food. Like so many people, when you speak to them, it's like literally, it's like food is the highlight of their day.
Which
it's
is
like, you should have something else that is the highlight of your day. Every meal should not be maybe your dinner, but it's like every meal should not be this little fucking. There should not be so much expectation around your meals to be this hyper palatable, hyper pleasurable experience all the time.
In what is it? Not a Diet Book. Your man James Smith, he talks about it. He goes and he's like, he says something along the lines like he feels bad for people that not even that he empathizes with them. It's like that if like one of the best things in their day is their food. He's like, it's like, imagine, like that's a sad situation to be in, and if you don't recognize it as sad, it's like you're probably a foodie, and if you're a foodie, well, it's like, it's a sad thing.
Yeah, but it's that whole thing. It's like is it serving you?
Yeah.
Is it serving you, or do you look the way you want to look and feel? You want to feel fine. Be a foodie. Like foodies are great. Foodies are cool. I know lots of.
No, I was only joking.
But a foodie in my mind is someone who, like a foodie will never say I don't like vegetables because they're a foodie. You know what I mean? You can't be a foodie not like fucking 80%.
They're probably eating all this Emmental cheese and bloody.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So it's just like, is it serving you? You know,
a good tip for eating your vegetables is, let's just say you have your plate, you have your protein, you have your carbs, which is rice, potatoes, whatever, and you have your vegetables. I like to use my carbs.
Nice stuff to eat the bad stuff.
No, that is one
I
thing.
do the same. It's like I mix it in with it as much as I can.
No, when I have the vegetables there, I go, all right, I'm going to reward myself with the protein and the carbs once I get through the vegetables. So it's like, all right, I'm going to eat these. Obviously, don't like them; they're not the best. But once I finish them, it's like
I get a weird sense of accomplishment when I eat my veggies. I'm like, I'll eat them first and I'll get them out of the way, just because I know I'm.
That's what I mean. It's like, all right, the good stuff's coming. I just gotta work it a little bit first.
I'm going to give the hippie case for this, okay? And I had a weird experience one night where I bought lettuce leaves and I think it was Central or somewhere out there. Not lettuce leaves, salad, like mixed salad in a bag. And I was looking at them actually. I was like, because just to check, they're super low in calories and all that jazz. But on the back, it gave like not just a flavor profile, but like a texture profile and like a wee description of each of the individual things and what you're supposed to taste while you're doing it. And that I ate like half the packet like on its own, just experimenting with the different things, and it was like all the different. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but when if you read it on the back of what you're supposed to do, it's like, oh, this one has a sharp bite, crunch to it, blah blah blah, or whatever. You're like, oh, this one's soft and it gives way to this sort of thing. You're like, oh, it's like if you combine these two with these ones, it gives you this sort of experience. You're like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, like how the hell you journey with his salad bag.
Yeah, but like it's like it changes the mindless eating thing into a mindful eating thing.
Yeah,
and that's what
you're looking for.
It turns from food to it turns like eating salad, something you don't want, into a weird experience. So you're like that. Before that, I was completely ignorant.
You're just chomping it in, just get rid of it. Whereas now you're actually tasting it.
And it wasn't a bad experience. Like when you notice things as an experience, like as in just a sensation or whatever it is, you're not judging it as like good or bad. There was nothing bad about it. Again, there was some of it I was like, it gave me like a weird reaction. I was like, I don't know if it was very tardy, or I don't know how to describe it. But if I read the packet, I would. But like it had a weird thing. But it wasn't like, if I was trying to be like, oh, I don't like that, I would have been like, oh, I don't like that. But because I was judging in a different way, it made me change the perception of how you actually taste it. Does that make sense?
Big thing. And again, another one just overlooked thing is this whole concept of mindful eating, and that's something I know personally I could definitely benefit from.
Stephen,
Stephen,
who finishes dinner first anywhere you go?
Steve.
Yeah, Stephen is the first to finish. It's like there's a competition, and if you don't finish yours first, someone else is going to eat your food for you.
But genuinely, it's really is this whole mindset shift, and I think a lot of people will kind of resonate with it, and especially people who are kind of like me and kind of maybe kind of binge eating in the past, this kind of stuff. It's like this whole concept of like, what is the goal of the meal? For me, the goal of the meal is to get stuffed. It's like you're not satisfied until you feel not satisfied, not full, but proper stuff that you have to sit back and go, that was lovely. That is the subconscious goal per meal for so many people, and that is why the portion control is just out the window, and then that's why you're so much more likely to go backwards or to rebound with your weight loss goals, because it's like you're sitting down with a Domino's and 1 or 2 slices isn't enough. It's like the difference between, but it's like the difference between 2 slices and 4 slices is literally a 100% increase in calories, or double the calories. So you can go from maybe 2,000 calories to 4,000 calories, and then you mix it up, and then you go from your savoury to the sweet, then you add in the ice cream, and then you go back to the savoury. You know what I mean? So it's like you literally can eat. I know I could, 5, 6.
That's the technique that foodie eaters do.
Like
if you ever, there's actually
23 minutes before your stomach's like, oh fuck, what's going on here?
No, even at So there's speed, but then there's also like a different palate profile. I remember looking at this between like
your dessert belly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not that it's been proven that that's like a real thing, but it's not literally a real thing.
True.
But if you have there's different ones that counteract different ones. So if you go from French fries, like it's salty, crispy, to ice cream, you can go back and forth until your stomach like nearly explodes.
Really well.
Yeah, like you could, because you switch it back and forth. Like the sweet makes you crave the salty to counteract the sweet, and the vice versa. And it's just you can go back and forth as much as you want. The different ones. So like if you see, I remember seeing it on, what is it? I forget the name of it. You're the guy who does the food challenges on Sky.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Man versus food.
Adam
Food. Something.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
That's why I don't
see the weight he's gained. Man.
No,
it's not.
He
doesn't do it. He had to give it up. It was too unhealthy.
Yeah. Well,
really, yeah.
But like in the lead up to those challenges,
just
he would do like
less.
2 hours jogging every day and eat like 1,000 calories for like a week beforehand.
Oh wow, really?
And he's still gained that much weight.
Yeah, sure, he'd be eating like 20,000 calories.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, fair. But it's like, how long does it take to make an episode? Like I don't know. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
A good thing, but if you are a sort of person that isn't satisfied until they're stuffed, then eat once a day. Be the sort of person that fasts for most of the day and has all your calories at once.
That's why I find intermittent fasting does work well for me, because I can eat bigger meals. But I'm not sure then, for me personally, if that is
healthy psychologically.
It's like, am I leaning into what's easy versus am I doing what is going to really help me in the long term, which is mastering mindful eating and slowing down, and you know what I mean. I'm not sure if it's just kind of something that's going to exacerbate the problem. I do like it. It is a strategy I enjoy. Maybe eating instead of 5 small meals a day, I'd rather have 2 or 3 big meals. You know what I mean. So that kind of does work well.
But there's arguments on the motivational like jazz for sort of like there's the path of least resistance thing. It's like, let's say you're overweight, okay, and you need to lose weight fast, and it's like that you just need to feel full after you eat. It's like that's the thing that you're not gonna pass up on. It's like that's your strategy. Go for it.
Yeah. It's a good start.
It's better than nothing. Maybe have 2 slightly less full meals. You get me? But like there is no definition of what the best way of eating is. There's none. Exactly. And it's like what works for what's healthy for you. Okay, it's getting you close to your goals, and it's not causing too much hassle between you and your social sort of environment. Yeah. That's basically what it should do. Do you get me? And if you eating 1 big meal in the day, at the end of the day, like there's nothing saying that you eating 5 smaller meals a day and not getting those stretch receptors and all that jazz on it, it's like is better than the other one. But again, because you have a negative, let's say, association with gorging, it's like fair enough. But if you were back in the day, I mean, you only had 1 meal a day, it's like you gorged as much as you could. Like wolves I'm not saying we're wolves or anything like that, but like wolves will eat, I think it's like twice their body weight or something like that in meat in one sitting, not twice their body weight.
And then they might not eat for fucking 2 weeks.
Exactly, but it's like, and we still have some sort of like that mammalian instinct.
Yeah, that's what the intermittent fasting would say. Like, we would have kind of got our big hunt like kings, and then waited until the next hunt almost, kind of hunted all morning or in the afternoon even, and then kind of have the big meal in the evening, and then you wouldn't eat again until the next day, because there was no, unless, there might have been a little bit of picking and grazing when you're in about.
But it is important to just understand it's like what works, because you could be wasting so much energy and feeling so guilty about doing that, and it's like that way it works for you and you're enjoying it. It's like, why not just go with it? Like exactly. Our philosophy anyway when we're coaching people is like, if it's working, like keep going.
Are you getting the results you want? Yes. Is it healthy? Yes. keep doing it. Unhealthy, yeah.
Again,
but to begin specific, what is healthy is specific to that person.
Exactly.
What they're trying to achieve. That's why working with a coach is always better than doing it on your own. Next one, guys, so exercise. So again, just to differentiate from again working in now, we kind of talked about this a little bit already, but the kind of obviously the standard for health anyway, according to the WHO, the World Health Organization, is 30 minutes of exercise every single day for an adult.
All right, let's say first off define exercise.
So exercise is any sort of movement, really, any movement. Again, this in theory would be a walk. A 30-minute walk would count.
Yeah.
So any sort of movement, any sort of sustained movement for 30 minutes or more.
Okay, so but then on top of that, it should also be a goal to improve your vitality. So you want to get stronger, you want to get faster. And if you don't have time to do all that, and you don't really want to get stronger, you want to get faster. Like 30 minutes
Depends
a day
on
is the
your goal.
minimum. Yeah, it depends on what your goal is, but that's your goal is based on what you want.
if you don't have an aesthetic goal, then. It's
But
just to be healthy.
I think now I'm not dissing bodybuilders or anything like that there, but I think the number one goal should be performance. That should be the number one goal. I think your ego should be attached to your performance. I think you should want to be able to perform better and become a better, more capable person in terms of physical movement.
So it says right here in our logo, boys, we got fat loss and performance. Much more interested in performance than aesthetics. But again, the key is like be honest with yourself. And
It's okay to be vain.
yeah,
It's okay to be vain as well. It's okay.
do what motivates you.
It's okay to not to be vain as well.
I would be more
Exactly.
motivated by performance and.
But no, but in saying that as well, it's like if you like the way I like to say it, or the way I like to explain it is that like perform the way you want to look. Like if you want to look like a boxer, start boxing. I mean, some boxers don't look that good because they're with Mickey Rourke or something.
Tony
like
Bellew.
Yeah, but it's like if you like you want to look like a sprinter, so start sprinting. If you want to look like a powerlifter, start powerlifting. If you want to look like a bodybuilder, start bodybuilding.
And just to interject on that, just to bring it back to the previous point about the doubles and stuff as well, is like that whole thing is like this program as well complements sport specific training nicely. So it means you can kind of get your bit of kind of strength and high intensity interval training done, and then you can go then maybe to your GA
for your
sport specific skills, or then you can maybe spend that extra time maybe doing that 5k run or the whatever it is, maybe it's rugby training, whatever.
Well, I think it's important.
And I love the beauty of that is I just love playing games. I think games are the best. But like this, I love doing five-a-side, love tag rugby. You know, playful. Being playful is key.
Oh man, play! I think we should do a whole podcast on play.
Like a 1 hour workout session compared to a 1 hour playing football, the difficulty level is astronomical.
But the overall calorie burn and effort level is very similar. But it just doesn't feel like.
Because you're
What
having
about
fun.
sparring? What about sparring? Actually, when are we going to get sparring again?
Well, sparring feels like a million years in 1 minute.
Oh, I don't know. It depends.
I think it depends on the intensity.
Because if there's let's say because you're used to
sparring.
I don't think you've had proper sparring experience yet. So you get me? Not to lord over you or like that, but like a proper sparring experience. You know, there's 4 people in the ring. You know, and then 2 people are going at a time. You swap one in, swap one out. Like you get a good amount of rest, but your metabolism is still elevated because you're recovering like mad.
Yeah.
And then it's like then you're going back in, and it's like you spend like 45 minutes sparring. Do you get me? Like just for like 8 rounds. Does that make sense to you? Like three or triple?
But again, sparring somebody who's at the same level is always going to be.
Even it depends. So like even at that, like I know one of the things like people are like, oh, sure, I can't get the intensity up.
We're talking about playfulness though.
But even at that playfulness, so like if
someone's punching you in the head, it's in the face repeatedly. It's not.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I thought you meant the other way. Sorry.
I mean, someone that's like even level at CEs are kind of just on the edge of each other's comfort zone. It's fun. It's a bit of give and take. If you're just fucking taking.
Yeah, but in boxing, okay, see, one of the things that I think there's a morality to playing games, and from Jordan Peterson and all that jazz, I've been looking into it and all that sort of stuff, and it's like you want to win. Like if you know it's already established that you're way better than them. It's like it's minimal necessary force.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And it's like a cool thing in jiu-jitsu that I learned is that like see if you're a blue belt or a purple belt or whatever it is and you're all white belts, it's like you destroy the white belt, but like in a controlled sort of manner, and you teach them while you're doing it. It's like and you don't like hurt them or you don't discourage them. Do you get me? It's like a learning process.
You handicap yourself.
Yeah, and it's like you're trying difficult things that you're not used to trying. You use it and they'll try really hard against it and all that. But it's like there's no. Like if I was going against someone who's never boxed before, and I got there, it's like I'm not going to fight them. And I had an experience there last
lose situation. Just beat the shit out of them.
Well, I had an experience last year where I'm not going to name names, but I was sparring in the ring with people back in the club, and I had situations like, oh no, we're just doing touch sparring, so it's just light, whatever it is. And there was one guy, and just full of emotion, full of intensity against it, sort of like, and this guy was a man. and the other guy was a teenager, again, sharp teenager, boxing and all that, but again, teenager, like 14, 15, sort of young. And it just, the kid would have been, let's say, better skilled, but your man was bigger and stronger and all that sort of crack. And it just brought this intensity. I don't know if he had a bad day or what it was, but this intensity to the thing where he was like clipping him. And then it's like we were rotating and I was sparring as all that jazz, and I was like, I kept saying over it, this is playful. We're practicing skills here. We're making mistakes and we're learning. We're not trying to punish people and give them concussions. Do you get me? But it's like, and when you see the gap in skill, it's like hopefully, and I actually don't know if I've had this experience yet, where you meet someone who's way better than you to just play in boxing. I don't think that's the thing in boxing. In jiu-jitsu, it's there.
What do you mean now?
So like, let's say, let's say I have an experience.
Lomachenko.
Yeah, it's like I don't think I haven't had the experience where Lomachenko has taken it easy. Do you get me?
Yeah,
it's like
because you're fighting, because you've only had that experience in a fight.
Exactly,
really, and
exactly.
the shit out of you.
Exactly. But even in sparring, like when clubs come down, it's like the clubs come down, all the other people are watching. It's like they're looking to show off in front of everyone.
Yeah.
They're not looking. Like it's a different sort of mentality with boxing. It's much more vicious or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, I don't blame them because maybe they don't know how to play it properly. But when you play,
maybe not only that, maybe just the rules aren't set out like that at the start.
Well, I've made it explicitly clear.
No, I'm saying they're not in that one particular case.
Okay.
I'm saying when you're sparring other clubs, is like, yeah, everyone's trying to do their best.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing with boxing as well, though, is like if you half-ass something, like it doesn't really work sometimes. Like I remember learning when you're really, really young, you learn to jab. It's like, jab, you got to throw it out straight, you got to line. It's like you do it, it's like it never works. Until the moment where it clicks and you're like, boom, and you're like, and it won't work if you throw it slow. Do you get me? It will not work. It won't land. Yeah. Exactly. And not only that, you'll get countered and punished. Do you get me? With pain, like actual pain, or bloody nose, or you won't question if your nose is wonky after, like, or you're seeing stars. Like it is different in boxing, but it is important, like minimal necessary force. I don't know how we got onto that tangent.
We're talking about kind of exercise and playing, and exercise doesn't necessarily have to mean
we got
high intensity and sparring, and trying to be a little more playful and sport specific.
But how about, remember we recorded a video of it, but back when you lived in, what was the name of it, Glen? No,
I actually watched that video recent enough.
Yeah, well, it's like when we were all sparring at the back, it was like,
that was class.
Like that's fun, that's light. It's like, but it's also like a little bit of competition. Like the competition changed from not how hard I can hit you to like
how many points.
Can I outskill you here?
Can I exactly outskill? Yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit fancier. And I caught you with a little sweet uppercut.
I love touch sparring. Touch sparring is the beat. Now there is something to be said about muscle memory and like not being able to switch on your shots. So like you do need real sparring. You absolutely need real sparring. You need hard sparring as well for that mental toughness and the dig deep and all that sort of crack. Because without that,
but it's you train yourself. If you get in the habit of doing things slow. You do things slow. You need to do things fast. You need
the way you drill it is the way you fall back.
Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Yeah. And if you're half-assing things in training, you'll half-ass things.
Playtime is used for experimenting. That's what it's used for, experimenting and learning different things. Sorry, now we're leaving you out here. What sports have you experimented with?
Football.
Yeah. Football. Yeah, I can't attest to anything in football. I genuinely just say I
love team sports.
Fucking love football.
I love team sports. Just compared to boxing, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay. My big thing about football is just injuries. I would much rather fight than play football in terms of like being safe.
Right, guys, but I just think it's more so like each person needs to be. It's like being fighting fit. Like it's like how like what is a 5-side game? Everything gonna is that your level? No, not saying you particularly, but it's like is that your level? Like you can't play a 5-side game without getting injured. It's like it's not the game, it's you. There's, you know what I mean?
I agree 100% with a certain I don't agree 100%. I agree to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because there is I do agree that you can make yourself more or less injury prone by being mobile and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely. But then there's also if you look at I'm ignorant to football and all jazz, but I have seen loads of Sunday League videos on Facebook, and it's like, that's not where you want to be at, because they don't care. Like when they're going in slide for the thing and all that jazz, they don't care.
I think that comes down to the exact same thing we're talking about with the sparring. It's like, as long as everybody knows that we're here to play, we're not here to 2 feet tackle each other, we're not here to fucking sweat. It's like we're playing in football with friends.
Then the ball goes overhead, man, and it's one of us is getting it. And I'm stronger than you, so I'll push you out of the way to get it.
Yeah, all I can say is I personally I rarely get injured playing sports.
I'm not going to say anything in case it happens.
But you know what I mean? It's like compared to I know say we played for a couple of years and there was one serious injury.
Yeah, one very serious injury.
Yeah, but other than that, it's just a couple of
who got hurt?
Shane and Ferg actually.
There's a few more.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
No, little ones.
We're talking about serious ones here, though.
Yeah, I know, but there's injuries. Like again, that's I believe that, and that's why I'm saying it. But again, I'm not saying it's 100% true for everyone. But I know that when I play football, I end up with a lot of nicks and all that jazz and all things that I don't
exactly.
want
And what I would say, I would compare you in that scenario to that guy, to that adult who couldn't control it when he was boxing because again it was just more of a lack of experience. I was like, the more you play something, you just get a feel for it.
No. Again, my sense is like not.
Have you ever got injured playing football?
Yeah,
I think you also choose your intensity level when you play
sprain
football.
my ankles like 4 or 5 times. Just
How many times have you played football?
anytime that we were playing football together. Do you get me? Like I have
hurt yourself.
Yeah, not every time, but like I've played football to the same extent that like kids in the yard and all that jazz. Again, but I played it from the experience of like I was picked last, I was never good, blah blah. But again, I'm not playing in this super competitive sort of way where like I'm injuring myself. Do you get me? I'm not.
How'd you sprain your ankle?
By rolling over it.
So poor ankle mobility.
It could be, or it could have been I was shouldered off the ball, or like I don't have my feet position right and all that crack as well. But it's like I know the guys who got injured, they were a lot better at football than I am, and the reason they got injured was not their own fault.
Yeah, but you choose what the intensity level is. If you see someone that's clearly being more aggressive, more intense, you can.
My point is the chance. I don't know if I'll win this debate, but I don't want to debate it too much. But it's like it's up in the air. Do you get me? Like, and it's like it can be just a freak thing where you go up for two guys go for the ball and they crack their heads together or something like. That's an accident.
I wanted to just what's the word? Kind of relate. I think it's just very relatable to just life in general. When you go out into the world, you
accept the risks.
You accept the risks of getting hurt. It's like you can literally get hurt. You know, there's so many people hurt their backs waking up, getting out of bed in the morning. And
true.
Life is risky. That's it.
To be fair, if you're playing football and let's just say you have the ball, or like you're running for the ball, and you can see someone that's clearly running to the ball, but you know that he's running to get you, just take a step back. It's fine. I'll get you after.
Yeah. The worst I've actually ever injured myself, the time especially in ankles, is when I was sparring you.
I remember that. You went over. It was the edge of the ring, though, wasn't it?
It was more so because you're southpaw, I'm orthodox, and the front legs went to whatever way happened. So I think it's just.
I'm so annoyed because we were actually building up. It was like, oh, we're gonna fucking find this.
Yeah, we were on a good run of things and we got all good sparring.
Fine, we'll win the Irish this year.
Alright, we're on a tangent here. Let's get this done.
So that's exercise. So 30 minutes every day, working in, working out. Again, the intensity doesn't necessarily matter. Just making sure you're dedicating 30 minutes to exercise every day. And what I would strongly recommend to our clients is obviously our workout program is a 5-day program. You should never take time. You should never take days off. You just change intensity. So on your days off, you don't sit in your bum and do nothing. You just change intensity. You might maybe go for a walk, do some yoga, but every single day we dedicate 30 minutes to exercise. Mm-hmm. Okay, because again, it's just much easier in terms of habits than if you're stopping and starting. Say like we take a rest on Wednesday, you do it on Wednesday, and then you kind of get back in that habit of then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you take a day off on Sunday. And then so you just really, it's for momentum purposes, it can be difficult. And then so the last one then, or the last two then, is going to be sleeping. So just making sure that we're getting a good solid 7-8 hour sleep. Again, another really kind of useful aspect of your Fitbit. Just making sure you're getting 7-8 hours sleep every night. As Chris, you mentioned before the podcast, that there's a host of benefits to sleep. Not only just for recovery and reducing overall cortisol levels and energy levels. If everyone's kind of says, "Oh, what can I do for my energy?" It's like, "How's your sleep?" It's like we just overlook the basic stuff. How's your hydration? What kind of food are you eating today?
People we just always laugh at you. They're always like, sleep. It's like, yeah, sleep.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. But what were you saying in terms of kind of how your brain processes memories and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, like there's different. I'm not 100% sure on the.
What's the book?
Details.
What is the book?
Why We Sleep. Matthew Walker. Why We Sleep. It's incredible. It's a little bit of a monotonous sort of thing. It's not really. It kind of is, but so much valuable information in it. Like literally teach you how bad caffeine is for your sleep and all that jazz as well. But basically,
what is his recommendation on caffeine? Do you know?
It's like don't drink it before you go to bed or close to. So it is a half. So the way he says it's like like you drink coffee in the morning, that's about it.
It's a half-life of 9 hours, is it?
So it is half of 7 to 9 hours. There are people, now he explains this, and there are people where caffeine literally doesn't affect them. They don't have the receptors for it or whatever. I'm not 100% sure in the details. Again, I didn't memorize the bloody book.
Yeah.
But the takeaway from it was like caffeine outside of the morning is going to affect your sleep.
Right.
Like going to sleep and having a good sleep are not the same thing.
Exactly.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like if you're drinking alcohol, do you get me, for a nightcap or whatever it is, that's incredible. That's not good for you. You're going into a state of unconsciousness, not sleep. There's a big difference.
Good point. Say that again, Chris.
Okay, so if you drink alcohol to, let's say, pass out or to sleep, you're going into a state of unconsciousness, not sleep. There's a difference. Okay, so you don't want to be unconscious, you want to sleep.
So you never dream when you're drunk.
Just because your eyes are closed doesn't mean you're getting good quality sleep.
Exactly. But when you sleep, like you do so much organization for your brain in that day. Like dreams are basically like situations that have happened during the day or whatever it is, and you're playing with different categories of all those things and seeing what clicks and what doesn't click and all that sort of crap. Like you're basically sorting it out. If it's like you've heard the phrase, I'll sleep on it. Do you get me? It's like you organize your thoughts when you sleep.
And there's an old Irish proverb: the best two cures for anything is a good laugh and a long sleep.
There you go. That's
wisdom,
actually,
there's wisdom in that. There's wisdom in that.
But again, if you want to look into more of it, there's loads of stuff on dreams and all that jazz, and Carl Jung and all that sort of crack as well. But the sleep does basically whatever stuff is in your brain. I forget the names of all this sort of stuff, but there's stuff in your brain that basically builds up throughout the day. It's like sort of some sort of calcification sort of thing, whatever it is in it, and it's basically brain waste. Okay, and when you sleep, your lymph nodes, or I think it's that. I can't say this 100%.
Wouldn't be lymph nodes, I don't.
But there's something that it fills basically your brain, and it like takes all this stuff is sort of drained out of it, and then it drains through your lymph system or your lymphatic system. I think it is.
Maybe it's lymphatic system.
And it gets rid of all the sort of bad stuff, and then your brain is fresh the next day. If you ever woke up feeling like you just didn't have a good sleep, and you feel that like. I can't even describe it, but it's like heaviness, you just feel crap. You had like some sort of heaviness, whatever it is, and your eyes squint a little bit and all that sort of crack.
Your body hasn't eliminated the waste from the previous.
Exactly, and that builds up over time. Like there's a strong thing between that and dementia and having all that sort of stuff as well. So the book explains this in way more detail than I can because I'm stupid and I can't think of it. But basically, like sleep and dementia are really linked. So getting a good sleep to drain that sort of stuff out.
So what is the book that we're recommending? So what is the name of it again?
Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker.
Matthew Walker, guys. That is the one for getting your sleep patterns.
As well, if you want, so you want your circadian rhythm as well. If your circadian rhythm is out of whack, it's like you're going to be on mood swings. You're going to be more irritable. You're going to be more.
So define circadian rhythm for people that don't know.
Jesus, the technical definition, I can't really.
For simple to explain it simply for people, it would just be more so about going up, getting up with the sun and going down with the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Waking up with the sun and going to sleep with when the sun goes down. So basically, but it's not even that. Some people are night owls and some people are like that. But it's like having a consistent sleep wake cycle, a consistency. So again, if you do shift work, it's like. Good luck. Again, I wish we could if I could eliminate any part of the thing from society, we can't. But if even your man James Smith brings it up in his book as well, it's like shift work is absolutely awful for your health, and there's going to be massive in the future when we do studies and all that jazz on it. It's going to show up that it's one of the worst things that you can do for your life.
And how bad is shift work?
Well,
when we say shift work, what are we talking?
So working
from nights to days.
So if you work nights, let's say for like 2 weeks out of a month. And then you get 2 weeks normal, and then you go 2 weeks night, and then you go it's like that is it not only is it really bad for mental health, but it's really bad for your actual health.
Yeah.
It destroys you, and it's like, and just when you're done adjusting and you actually join the new sort of cycle, it's like, and then you're gone again.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And then you reset it, and you go through that whole experience, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse the more you do it, which is bad for you. So again, number one thing is like you need a consistent wake time. That's like the thing to set it.
This stuff is strongly linked with things like depression and anxiety as well.
Yeah, 100%, or even any sort of mental disorder that you have. It's like if you sleep better, it will improve it.
And then again, and sleeping better defined by what the duration of the sleep, but also the consistency
of
the sleep.
So I can't remember. I need to listen to this book again. It was last year when I listened to it. But it's like there's a few. I think there's 3 different types of phases in sleep. People think there's 2. There's like REM, and then there's like your normal sleep, and then there's another one. But you need all of them. They all do different jobs. We'll do another podcast. We did a podcast already on sleep, but we'll do another one in a while after I listen to that book again.
This book specifically, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll go into more detail and give you all the information so you don't have to read it or listen to it if you don't want to, or maybe it'll inspire you to listen to it and you can get the details yourself, because I feel really bad just spreading this. And
guys, what we're trying to recommend, guys, anybody who does not use Audible yet, I will leave a link in the description. You can get a 7-day free trial.
There's a 1 month free trial.
There's a 1 month free trial, and I think you get your first book is free as well. So you can literally sign up, get this book for free. I'll see if I can leave a link in the
actually, it's one of the most valuable subscriptions I have. So I have like 3 subscriptions right now. I have Google Premium because I hate ads and I hate having to wait those. So, but I have also Netflix because everyone has Netflix, and actually I don't watch Netflix that much. And Audible, the one that gets the most use is YouTube. After that, it's Audible, and then it's Netflix.
Yeah.
But Audible is class. Like every month, what I tend to go in phases with it. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
But since you're subscribed, you get a free credit every single month, and then the deals where it's like you buy 3 credits.
It's technically not free because you're paying what is a €15 a month for one new book every month. So you can read a book a month for €15. It's not
you can read more than a book a month doing this. Like absolutely. Like there's been phases where I've just gone. I haven't listened to anything else. I haven't watched YouTube, and it's just been audiobooks.
But as we were talking earlier on about these people that maybe struggle to get their steps in because of all this commute time, it's like turning that dead time into productive time. So imagine literally if you drive to Dublin and back, that's 2 hours a day. You could literally do a book a week easy if you decided to listen to Audible instead of the radio. Or
if it's an hour a day, you can do the math. It depends on the book. Like there's some books here.
Books on average are what are we talking, 6 to 12 hours?
No, I can't say. I think it's wrong for you to say. Give it an average. But there's some books here. Like one of the books I have is Maps of Meaning, and I think that's like 35 hours. 40 hours or something like that there. It's a really, really long, dense book.
Yeah.
Again, I listened to it and I didn't get much. I got a bit of it in, but then there's other ones that are like The Alchemist, which is nice, sweet, pleasant listen, and it's only like 2 hours or something like that, 3 hours.
No, it's more than 3 hours.
Is it?
I think so.
It was so nice that it went so quick.
Yeah.
But then there's other ones that the usual time I think is something around 8 hours or something like that, but anywhere from like 6 to 12.
Yeah.
Even at that, it was like when people frame it in a way where it's like, do you want such a long book? It's like you get more content. Do you get me? Like and more time to listen. It's like the whole, again, from doing the yoga and all that jazz, like Russian stuff is like if you rush it, it's like you're probably not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or not, you're not going to enjoy it if you rush it. And the reason you're rushing it is because you don't enjoy it. And it's like slow down.
Cat chasing its tail.
Exactly.
Boom. So guys, that one is sleeping. And the last one we have, just a quick one to finish on, is just a little bit of meditation. So we've actually done a little bit of meditation in the session instead of stretching the last couple of whiles. The feedback has been pretty good. People like it.
Of course they like it.
At the end of the most powerful time to exercise or to meditate, in my opinion and the opinion of many others, yogis especially, is at the end of exercise. Or
when the endorphins are all elevated. BJJ, it's actually common enough in BJJ as well.
Do people meditate after?
Yeah. Be thankful that you could show up to your session that you didn't get any injuries and all that sort of blah,
BJJ does seem to have a really cool vibe and culture.
Oh man, it does. It does.
Yeah, so just a little bit of meditation, guys. I strongly recommend, guys, if you haven't ever done it, start small. I always do it to myself as well. Like, I have to meditate, 20-minute meditation, in this kind of 6 phase meditation I do because it's the best, the most productive meditation, but at 20 minutes, just because when I'm getting up so early, it just is not always productive. So what I'll do is I will give myself 5 or 20 minutes. Like saying that whole thing you said, you get out of bed, you do a little bit. It's like I'll commit to at least 5 minutes of meditation. But then if I have time, I'll do a little.
Commit to 1 minute.
Yeah.
See, here's what will happen. Commit to 1 minute. All right, and then do the minute, and you'll feel like, oh, I didn't really get enough out of that. And you go, oh, I'll just go a little bit more. And like, see, when you meditate properly, I've had times where I've literally meditated for like an hour. I'm not joking. Like when I was in Thailand, we did all this stuff where it was pretty crazy. But
that was usually hard. Silent meditation for that long was really hard for me.
It just even sitting still, it's so annoying. Like there was one where we had to chant Om, I think it was 108 times, but it was like silently. Do you get me? You do it in your head.
Oh,
so you're going through other things. I don't think it was Om. Bloody hell, I forget. But basically,
do you remember anything?
Hey, I'm very forgetful. My sleep's a bit all over the place at the moment, and I'm a failure.
You should listen to this podcast.
No, but I think it was Om. Whereas like you just go Om and all that sort of crap. Again, I know that sounds weird to anyone who doesn't understand what it's for, but when you do it right,
it's about the vibration and the sound.
Yeah, and the intention as well. Like the intention. It's the sound of everything. But anyway, meditation is really cool because it lowers your cortisol. You feel refreshed after it. You feel like you've had you're a better person. You feel like you can do more stuff. Like if I had a conversation with you, and let's say I've had a stressful morning, and I'm a little bit reactive, and you say something and it just clicks in my head, and I'm like, oh, I don't like the sound of that, and it's like it changes the whole tone of conversation. Versus if you've meditated, well then you can step back from the little.
There's a couple of seconds between the stimulus and the response.
Yeah, and you can see the response without judging it, and when you do that, you have better interactions because it's like, oh, what do I want out of this? It's like I don't want to be everyone's so reactive, even in this podcast here, because we're trying to talk about stuff and we want to have our bit to say.
Trying to get it all in the same period of time and blah blah blah.
It's like we want to say it. We want to be the next one to speak. It's like just sit back, wait, see if you can have pauses between the way you speak. It sounds better. It's more relaxing. There's no rush. A good example is Eckhart Tolle.
He's so annoying. Not that he's annoying, obviously he's fucking zen as fuck, but it's so slow. He just speaks so slow.
Just edit in the sentence, put it to like 0.25 or something.
Yeah. Eckhart Tolle, if anyone doesn't know, he wrote the book The Power of Now, one of the kind of top mindfulness guys in the world.
I have a theory about the way he speaks because I listened to his book on Audible and he reads the book himself.
Same.
And the thing that he does is that he does read it very slowly. But because he reads it very slowly and you're in a rush, it's like what it does is you have two options. You can be like, feck this, or you can slow down and accept. Again, acceptance of the situation is one of the big things in it that leads to less suffering. Again, with yoga, the whole thing is that you be a person who doesn't suffer, and the reason you don't suffer is because you let go of all these sort of things. Like the reason you want to rush through is because you want the information now so you can get the benefits of it later, or in the future, and you can use it for your own power or ascendance in the hierarchy. But if you accept the way it is, and it's like, oh no, that's just the way it is, like you've no expectation, because you've no expectation, it becomes easier. But it forces you to wait, it forces you to listen and not rush the whole thing. And when you do that, it's like, and you actually accept, and not just say you accept it, you actually accept it. It's like, there's no more pressure. There's no more, there's no rush. So yeah, it's like.
So guys, if anybody is interested in meditation, I strongly recommend the Headspace app. It's probably one of the better ones. It's free, 10 minutes, but I would also recommend, you're going to say it, Chris?
Sam Harris. I actually finished all of them there recently.
Really,
I have all the daily meditations.
And one of the beauties about that Sam Harris, what is it called? Waking Up. Sam Harris Waking Up app, really, really good. First 10 sessions are free, and then what he does, it's €15 a month after that. But if you email and say you cannot afford it, they will give it to you for free.
Yeah, and like I've done it, and I have it for free now, and I feel guilty about it. So now I think I might have to start. That might be one of my other subscriptions, but only because it's so good. It's not only meditation. It's like if you're in any way spiritual. Like I know loads of people turn their nose up at all sort of crack, but it goes into like he gets Buddhist monks on. He gets all these like neuroscientists, all these cool people who are in the realm of mindfulness on podcasts and talks with them and asks them like the difficult questions that you want someone to ask someone like that there. And there's no straw man. There's no like just trying to jump. One of the things I noticed when we were doing yoga and all that is that people are very like, if someone says something, you just sort of accept it, and no one wants to ruffle the I'm a disagreeable person, so I want to poke and ask the questions, but also the situation, you don't want to look like an ass either. Whereas he's like very cordially acknowledges that asks them the really hard questions and they give the best answers.
People are so confused with meditation; they're just not sure what it's supposed to feel like. Am I supposed to be thinking? Am I not supposed to be thinking? Should I be quiet? Should I be zen? Am I supposed to feel this way, that way? But it's all these kind of expectations and judgment. It's literally, for me, it's a practice of discipline. It's like, can you just sit there for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and breathe?
Well, that's one of the I don't want to lord over, but that's one of the first steps. So it's like, can you sit still? And it's like, and then if that requires a lot of effort, it's like you gotta learn to not make that effort. Like it should not be a thing where you're like, okay, I'm gonna sit still. I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna sit here, and you're in your head and you're thinking. It's like the whole thing is to stop trying that expectation and to just experience. Like I know it sounds so weird when you say just experience. The way I think it's like just start noticing different things about what's happening in your body, in like sensory. Do you get me? Like, so how does your breath feel? And just experience how your breath feels. And that is incredibly relaxing. But also, like your mental state and your breath are intrinsically linked. So if you're breathing which some people do all the time. It's like that. If you're chronically stressed, it's like it's not that one is the cause of the other. It's that they're linked, and that one will cause the other, and one will. But it's like you can at any point take 4 deep breaths, breathe out till the end of your breath. It'll trigger something like your vagus nerve. I learned this at the Wellfest thing, and it's like you'll feel. You can do it now. Maybe you don't want to do it now, but take a big breath in, breathe all the way out. Big breath in once it's done. Another big breath in. Last one.
You ruined it for me.
But how do you feel?
Better. I said that's
Instantly
what I
better.
laughed as soon as I did. It's like it's just funny how instantly you can change your state, but we just laughing and just won't take it seriously.
Exactly. Like literally, like already I feel like just
I feel like
10-15% better.
more relaxed.
Have 4 breaths.
Yeah.
Again, you have to get over the cringe. Like, even at that, like knowing when I was doing it, it's like even audibly, it's going to sound like not great for entertainment, but it's like try it.
Yeah, so if you didn't do it with us there, guys, we strongly recommend pause it. Do that, then take the 4 breaths, but again, it's full inhales and full exhales.
Yeah, complete exhales.
Empty the lungs.
And it trips something wherever it is, and all of a sudden you're like 15-10% more relaxed. And then just imagine going into a meeting that you're stressed about, and you do that. Even like again, I've done it where like I've been like angry and tired and underslept, and you do feel way better after. It's like, oh, okay, it might not last the whole time, especially with stimulus and all that sort of crap coming in, but like for 10 minutes you feel better, you feel euphoric. And again, you don't have to do it for just 10 minutes. You can sit there. This is going to sound weird, but you can just sit there and breathe and feel class. And just go and feel class. If you feel class most days, it's like that translates to throughout the rest of your day as well. Just sit and feel class for a while. There you go. That's my advice.
So more people, like, if you feel like you need it, it's like, people are like, oh, just never get any peace and quiet. It's like, meditate.
There's what's the thing? It's like the Western meditation or something like that. There's basically like people just going to the bathroom for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
It's like they're so stressed they just go sit in the bathroom for 40 minutes. Like,
That's actually it. That's a good point. But the problem is to bring the phone with
But again, it's experience. You know, I'm not saying phones are meditation or anything like that. It's like the actual opposite. But you can meditate on what you see in your phone if you want.
if you're really mindful.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, guys, so just a recap on this podcast. Thanks to everyone who stuck with us this long and listened in. Feel free to comment, make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So today's podcast was all on how to live a healthy lifestyle. The key quote of the day is going to be, you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So a couple of things that we strongly recommend you incorporate and build habits around and build into your routine are being active. So this is the whole 10,000 steps a day, this need up 24/7 philosophy. Eat a balanced, portion controlled diet, depending on how you want to look and how you want to feel. And make sure you're staying hydrated. Again, think about your pee. It should be light, not dark. 2 to 3 liters of water per day, in that range. Everyone's a little bit different. Exercise 30 minutes every single day, whether that's working out at a high intensity, or maybe that's working in, just going for a walk, doing something that makes you feel good, fills you with energy rather than takes energy. Sleeping 7-8 hours per night with a good with consistency or with a good routine, trying to get to bed around about the same time every day, trying to get up around about the same time every day, and then finally just meditating, being a little more mindful, being a little more present, learning how to breathe, I think is one of the key takeaway, guys. So if anybody's any questions on that, or if anything you want us to discuss in future podcasts, feel free to leave it in the comments below, or get in touch with one of the guys on Facebook or Instagram.
One more point, you already know all this crack, just get it done. Alright, we're reminding you. Just so
our philosophy for the podcast, as we kind of talked about before we started, is people don't need to be educated as much as they need to be reminded. That's why we drill in on these 4 or 5 things, and if you hammer home on these are the key actions and behaviors that drive the results. So if you want to make that change, you want to live a healthy lifestyle, these are the things, in our professional opinion, they're going to help you move the needle and get the best bang for your buck in terms of habits and time spent doing things.
This is not for your professional athlete who already have all this stuff sorted out. And even if you are and you don't have all this sorted out, it's like you can improve your performance by checking all these boxes.
Exactly. Someone trying to live a healthy lifestyle and how an athlete is going to train and perform are completely different. This is general advice for the general population.
Don't go thinking you're an athlete just because you do meditation.
At the end of the day, it's just
What's that from?
Dodge Twins.
Them
Remember that?
brothers.
You can rev it up. You want to do. Alright guys, listen, we're going to leave it at there. I think we're around about an hour. Let us know, guys. We're going to keep this podcast going every single week. If you're enjoying it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know if you have any ideas for future podcasts. And on that note, we will see you in the next one. Peace.
Also, we love the Hodge Twins.
FF_Valentine.
Fighting _fit, and
You can find me in Steven's profile. I'm not going to do a shameless plug.
alright guys, see you in the next one. Bye bye.